What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here, coming at you today with another episode of Does It Suck? The show where we take a deep dive look at a new game and see what's good or bad about it. But this video is going to be a little bit weird because the game I attempted to play is currently almost completely broken. I managed to play some of it, a couple really good hours. Over the course of the last day, I've actually been trying to jump into the Gears of War 5 beta, called the Multiplayer Tech Test. But the problem is that it was essentially completely destroyed. Just to try and outline some of the glitches I encountered, there was stuff like if you tried to change your character in the middle of a game, it could freeze the screen or crash. If you tried to join a party with a friend, it could end up corrupting your freaking game and cause it to crash. You could get stuck in these infinite loops where just trying to join a game would actually lock you on this weird character screen eternally. If you tried to alter your weapons in the options menu, nothing would happen. If a match took too long to start, the game would say that you were inactive and kick you out. But the very worst glitch out of everything was the fact that they had a huge login queue. Maybe you're not able to just adjust your eyes to this, but that says that I had to wait 4 freaking hours to play my first match. 4 hours! But the worst part was, I actually ended up waiting 6 hours because after I played through the initial little demo thing, the little training grounds, I accidentally got kicked and had to re-enter this line. So I spent 6 hours yesterday just staring at this freaking screen before I finally got in. Now, even when I did manage to get in, it still didn't function great, but at least I got a chance to finally see what this game is about. I'm somebody who is a huge Gears of War fan. Not only do I own every one of the games, I own every version of each of the games, including collector's editions, specialty packs, everything, because I do think that this is one of the best third-person shooters ever made. I'm somebody who even loved Gears of War 4, but Gears 5, it's leaving a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, because to me, this does feel like downloadable content. This does feel like $60 DLC. Now, the reason I say that is because while I think that there are some very clear upgrades in this game, they're pretty few and far between. Let me just show you some random matches here. So in this beta, we essentially had 2 different maps we could play on, and then 3 different modes. Arcade, which is all new, Domination, and King of the Hill. Let me tell you all about Arcade, because this is the thing that I definitely hated the most, but I'm also sort of the most fascinated by, because of course it is just so fresh and new and different. Now, the way that Arcade works is you're dropped into a typical team deathmatch setting where you're trying to hunt down the enemy players and score some nice kills. But the weird part is you only start with one gun, or one primary gun, in this case the Hammerburst or the Lancer, and then once you have it, by getting kills, like kill streaks, you get a chance to roll again, to get a randomized weapon. You get a new weapon every 2 kills, 4 kills, or 6 kills. If you get really lucky, you can grab some stuff like some super weapons or maybe some nice flame grenades, but I don't like Arcade because there's just no weapons on the map. There's no way that you can actually strategize. If you're not just in there for the raw killing action, there's not really a tactic to this. And I don't know if you've ever played Gears of War before, but in my opinion, part of the reason that this franchise became so immensely successful in its multiplayer is because every single time that you're fighting another player, it actually feels a little bit like a chess match with shotguns. And I'm being dead serious about that. There is a lot of really interesting tension to the fact that every single time you bounce off a wall or try and pivot your camera, there is a right way and a wrong way to move. But a part of this tactic is being able to help out your friends and pick people up or do a really extended execution. So the fact that they decided to create a mode that just streamlines things down to the point of being completely pointless is is so strange. I mean, I think that they need to try and throw at least some weapons on here, that way we get a chance to test stuff out. Now let's talk a little bit about the changes. Gears of War 5 definitely does feel a little bit faster in every way compared to Gears of War 3 and 4, and we're not even going to mention Judgment because that game is a flaming dumpster fire. So Gears of War 5 certainly has a quicker set of motion. When you're just trying to sprint, it's quicker. When you're trying to steer, it's quicker. But the most important thing is it seems like they took the time to kill and divided it in half. If you hit somebody really, really directly with your Nasher shotgun, they are going to melt. And I'm so glad that is back. This is the tension that I love. The thing that really works the best is the Gears games that are the fastest. When it's just charge in there, get blown apart, get some kills, grab the next point, keep moving. I like that so much. And I really feel like this nice new pacing really begins to shine when you're playing in the specialty ranked modes of Domination and King of the Hill. These are modes that have obviously existed in other games, even ones that are recent, but I still feel like Gears of War manages to do them the best. In Domination, the general idea is the fact that there is these different points all across the map, little tiny circles, and by going into them, you can capture them for your team. The longer you're able to hold them, the more points you get. You don't need to actually babysit them though. If you leave, until somebody else from the enemy team manages to touch that circle, it remains on your side, which creates a nice sense of basically being able to guard them without being just stuck there. It makes it where you can definitely stay on the move and not just feel completely rooted to that spot, and you can still hunt down the action. Now, the interesting twist to this that I really, really like is in between rounds of Domination, because there's like 10 rounds, you get a chance to actually place different items on the map. Initially, you just have a shotgun and a lancer and a pistol, but between each rounds, the person who is the MVP of each team gets to place the items that they choose on the map. So you can choose like a particular spot and say, all right, I want the grenade launcher there, or I want the new weapon, which is like the claw. I want that to be right there. And it makes it where you can actually, over time, try and make this interesting strategy. It makes it where it definitely influences the game without actually obfuscating the game, if that makes sense. I think it makes it where if you are behind, you can definitely try and strategically improve yourself and basically get a small advantage without it just being completely broken. It doesn't really sway the game too much, but additionally, I do think that it's a nice touch to kind of make it where even if you're behind, you don't feel like you're just completely screwed. You can even do something like, instead of just actually putting down a new weapon, you can upgrade something more. So like if you keep losing the north side of the map, maybe you can put a sniper rifle there and then use each of your turns to try and give it more ammunition or a faster respawn time. That way everybody in your team can get a chance to blow some headshots. I think that these changes are nice. There's a lot of stuff in this game that does feel better, but additionally, it does just still feel kind of like Gears of War 4 and 3 did. It does not feel like a huge departure. When I was playing King of the Hill, I actually forgot a couple times that I was even playing Gears 5. It's hard to believe a little bit that this is a new game. Now, part of this is, of course, because this is just the multiplayer, and each of the multiplayers in this franchise is pretty similar, and I think that we need to see the campaign. I'm still definitely buying this game day one. I'm definitely going to be putting tons and tons of hours into it because I'm always obsessed with achievement hunting in the Gears of War games, but I think that this is the one that I'm probably the least hyped for since Judgment. It just definitely seems like a weird in-between. It doesn't feel like Gears of War 5 is really trying to shake things up or add anything super spectacular and new. I mean, I don't even have anything to say about the new weapons really, because they're just kind of more of the same. I don't know, I guess I just wanted something fresh. I wanted at least one thing in here that felt fantastic. I honestly believe that Gears 5 is only aimed at new fans of the series. It's not even trying to care about the classic lovers of the series at this point. I mean, people like me who have been supporting it from the very, very start, doing every every DLC, getting every map pack, even spending real money for the crazy skins like I did with the rainbow gun in Gears 3. I mean, people like us are kind of being set to the side to try and gather up a new audience, which makes sense, but it is a little bit disappointing that they're not trying to really do anything to improve the game so much as it is tweak it. We're never probably going to see another giant Gears sequel, and that is a little bit of a disappointment, but I mean, I guess we'll know when the full game comes out. This is obviously a tech test. It's just a couple guns, it's just a couple maps, it's just a couple headshots. It is not the total experience. But when that does come out, I'll certainly be reviewing it as well. Until then, I guess I'm going to keep trying to jump in here until eventually the servers just completely break or finally get fixed. Did you get a chance to actually play the beta? If you're one of the 5 people that were actually online, well hello, thanks for the good matches. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Oh man, I got some really good kills while I was recording this video, but I am still just a little bit disappointed that, I don't know, I hoped for more. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.